So when we say that they keep taking lore and just messing it up and changing things and adding things that weren't there, even though there's a well enough amount of established uh chronicling of these events and of these characters, they can't seem to help themselves. So this is uh season two. The title of the episode is called Eldest. We've got jolly old Tom Bombadil. So already he's exactly pretty much how we thought he would be. Goldberry seems to be nowhere around, despite the fact that we heard a female voice. The stranger asked, he's like, "Hey, is there someone else here with you?" And Tom gives him like this weird look of, "No." Like, well, I heard a woman's voice, and he's like, "No." So either Goldberry doesn't exist and he's talking to himself because, oh, he's quirky Tom Bombadil, or they're trying to set her up to be like an important figure, which she's not. She may be a river spirit, but she's not important to the story, which is why him and Goldberry were not in the movies because they weren't important to the story. Um, but he's in a desert. Um, and in this part right here, which is probably more concerning because we're introduced to a dark wizard who kind of looks like Saruman, but that would make no sense because this is the second age and Saruman hasn't been turned evil yet. Saruman doesn't really turn evil until probably a little after The Hobbit, because in The Hobbit we see that he's still good. And there's only five wizards, five Istari. There's Saruman, there's Gandalf, there's Radagast, and the two blue wizards. So are they creating a sixth mysterious wizard, one of the Istari to make into a villain? So the Istari are the Maiar, which were sent down to Middle Earth by the Valar, who were created by Eru Ilúvatar, and Eru Ilúvatar is the god of this that universe, the one who created everything. And the Valar kind of go around and do the creations for him and sing his praises, and you know but they charge the Maiar to go down and kind of keep an eye on things. They can get involved with situations. They just can't do things directly. So, like, people were like, well, Gandalf is extremely powerful, obviously. So why couldn't he just destroy the ring himself? Because he can't. He's not allowed to. He needs to leave it up to the men, the people of Middle Earth. He's an immortal person. He's a Maiar. He's immortal. So it wouldn't be fair for him to just handle everyone's problems. So he's the Istari or the Maiar were kind of just tasked with, hey, you go down there, keep an eye on things. But here they're talking about um some people that they just saw riding outside, and we know that this wizard who they're talking about is part of the Istari because Tom outright mentions it.
Hunt me, my friends.
You're not the first Istar who's eaten honey by my fire.
He says it right there. So this dark wizard is a member of the group, but there's only five. So, Order of Wizards. The Order of Wizards, or simply wizards, were a group of Maiar sent to Middle Earth by the Valar in the Third Age, possibly the late Second Age. They were embodied as elderly men and entrusted to aid the free peoples against the threat of Sauron's conquest by lending them their wisdom and counsel. So we have Gandalf, Saruman, Radagast, the Blue Wizards, Alatar, and Palando. I mean, the Blue Wizards kind of have names, but we still don't know anything about them. I think these were created basically for like the trading card game. Um, Same thing with like Tom. You know, he really didn't have a real physical. He had a description and what he looked like, but yeah, that's kind of like what they looked like. Um, but yeah, sent to wisdom and counsel. Basically, they can give advice, they can help, they can get involved. They just can't solve the people's problems for them. Um, Rome was called to another council of valor. Five Mount Maiar, like five, known as the Five Guardians, were sent to Melian and other guardians and watching over the elves from Melkor's emissaries. Yeah, so five. So who's this wizard? Um, he's in this episode, I think. Uh, yeah. When you see this dude, who does that look like? That looks like Saruman. It looks like just a young Saruman. Actually, let me pull up a better picture of him. Saruman, no. Is there a picture of him with as the Maiar? But you can see kind of like you can kind of see a bit of the whole. You can like the black right there, black right there. So it very much looks like Saruman. But Saruman at this point isn't evil. But this man is clearly implied to be a wizard, a member of the Five. So are they just making characters up now? I mean, if you're gonna have an antagonist, that's fine. But now you're taking an established group, you know, like these guys, the Five Istari, and you're like, oh, well, just there's five. Well, we're just gonna add a sixth for no reason. Um, yeah, Dark Wizard. Um, but yeah, he meets Gandalf. We're gonna call him Gandalf. Everyone's like, oh, it'd be funny if he turns out to be Saruman. Um, but he kind of meets Tom the same way. You got old man, at least a tree. Um, and you know, Tom's like, oh, let him go now, let him go. You know, and then he's sitting there in his little tub, and he hears two voices, Tom and a female voice, and we hear the name Goldberry, but we never see them. So it's either like they're trying to set her up to be an important character, which she's not. She's not an important character. Or oh, quirky Tom Bombadil's talking to himself and doing different voices. So you know, people are more referring to him as like the Lord of the Rings Hagrid because you know Tom Bombadil is just constantly joyful and happy and this and that, while this guy's giving advice, which he didn't really do. He doesn't concern himself with the workings of the world. You know, this is the guy that if you say, "Oh, hey, what's your opinion about Sauron?" He's not going to give you an opinion because he doesn't care. He's just indifferent to it. He he doesn't involve himself with it. But he's outright giving Gandalf here a freaking piece of advice and saying, "Oh yeah, these two dark beings mix together and work together, and there's going to be a problem," and that's not the character. Um, I mean, they try showing him. They show him as, oh hey, look, he stabbed a piece of paper and turned it into bread. Or, you know, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm the eldest. I've been here since the first raindrop and the first acorn. And, you know, when the sky was, you know, the stars were fearless and this and, you know, just like the description. But it's like you don't really get that from him. You know, you don't really get that from him. You know, you don't get that he's like this ancient kind of creature or being. Um, there's his wife right there. There's his wife, a lamb. Everyone, I would like to introduce you to his loving wife, Goldberry, who's now being played by a lamb. A gentle river spirit has now taken the form of a gentle lamb. I hear she's with child. Um, but yeah, anyone. Again, there's 5 wizards. There's 5 wizards. We know it's not the blue wizards. We know it's not the blue wizards. We know it's not Saruman because even we see in The Hobbit, Saruman is still good. He's still good. We know it's not Radagast. We know what he's up to. And obviously it's not Gandalf. He also sees what Tom can do when he tries to ask Tom to teach him. Because Tom like yawns or something and the fire just sparks up, grows, and he's like, "Oh, can you teach me?" And he's like, "Oh, everyone teach their own," and blah blah blah, whatever bull crap he was talking about. But yeah, there's 5 Istari. So who's this other made up wizard? Why can't they just keep to the lore of the of Tolkien? I mean, it's not hard. They have plenty to work with. Hell, this is a great place to go if you want information. You know? Sent to Middle Earth by the Valar in the Third Age, possibly his late Second Age. Powers and abilities. I mean, it gives you pretty much everything you need to know. The Hobbit's first appearance. But yeah, you can see with Saruman, he's got a bit of a black there, and then a black going down that way. And same thing with the Dark Wizard over here. So are they trying to imply that this Dark Wizard is Saruman? I certainly hope not. I certainly hope not. Um, as for Tom, again, where's Goldberry? Where's his wife? Why is he living in a desert? Why is he not jolly and happy and singing songs and dancing and this and that like his character? I Goldberry voice. Again, they're not important to the story. In the books, Frodo goes there and it's like they don't concern themselves with the outside world. They're just fine in their forest. And I mean, we know that Gandalf and Tom Bombadil know each other. We know that they're friends. And after the War of the Ring, uh, Gandalf is like, "Oh, it looks like me and Tom can finally sit down and chat." I've said before that I'm sure Radagast, who lives in the forest, knows who Tom is, even if they may not have the same relationship as Gandalf and Tom. And I'm sure even Saruman knows of Tom, but it's in the forest. He doesn't have a summer home in the desert. He doesn't. And again, where's his wife? Where is his wife? His wife is a river spirit, so kind of important, but not important to the story. You know, he rescues Merry and Pippin from Old Man Willow, and they stay with him for like 2 days, 3 days, and this is a guy who shows off unusual behavior of, oh hey, look, I can put on the ring and nothing happens. Whoop, now you see it. Now you don't. Whoop, here you go. Oh, by the way, you put on the ring, I can still see you. Oh, I'm magic. So, I mean, it's a lot more grand when he does it, but, you know, I'm trying to, you know, but the fact is, one, Tom is not Tom. Two, they're apparently creating a brand new dark wizard who is a member of the group, even though we know that the wizards was sent down pretty much at the third age, in the third age, and it can't be Saruman because Saruman is still good. So, you know, it's, I thought that we were going to be told a tale of the second age. Creating characters that didn't exist, scenarios that didn't exist, and whatever. It just... Who is the mysterious dark wizard? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. You'll find out who he is in 5 minutes. 10 episodes later. 4 minutes. But yeah, yeah, they were sent down. They're not really meant to get involved. They can just research things and give guidance and you know, help. But that's why Gandalf just didn't do everything for Frodo or whoever else, because he's not allowed to. That's not his job. You know, if he would just took his eagles and just flew them out, it'd be too easy. It would be too easy. And even if something happened to him on the way there, like Sauron attacking him in some kind of way, the guy's immortal. He's a Maiar. He can't die in you know, like a mortal sense where we die and, you know, he comes back. You know, he just kind of, he's like reset. He just like goes back and then he just, you know, but there's 5 wizards, but now apparently there's 6, which it's all so tiresome. It really is. Anyway, what did you think of Bombadil in Rings of Power, and what do you think of this dark wizard who's outright mentioned to be an Istari? Let me know. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.